You know, an animated film about food? What about one about water or fizzy drinks? Possibilities. I don't know. I felt like doing that because this film is about food, but not a lot about drinks, really. Am I right? Anyways, hello, boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Clayton Zoka, and welcome to another My Thoughts On. With Angry Birds Movie 2 coming out this Friday, and to celebrate that, I'll be talking about Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs today, and Friday, obviously, the first Angry Birds. So yeah, Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs. This is based on a book, as far as I know. It was released in 2009. I know it got critical praise. I know lots of people actually like it. I didn't see it when it came out, even though 29 or 2009 is one of my favourite years, like, ever. 2015 is there as well, but 2009? 2009, bloody hell, that is a year I want to go back to. Not just films, but everything, really. Nostalgia, movies, games, and all that. And since Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs was released exactly 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 years ago, not on this exact day, but 11 years ago, in 2009, and I believe in September, October, I think so. But this is directed by Phill Lord and Chris Miller, or Christopher Miller. Who are they, you might ask? You know the Lego Movie? Yep, those are the guys who directed that film. They also directed 21, 22 Jump Street, I think, yeah. I think Chris Miller or Phill Lord? Yeah, Phill Lord was one of the writers for the Oscar-winning Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. I mean, they both produced it, but I think they were the ones who came up with the idea. Still waiting for that solo film, though. I don't know why they gave it to Ron Howard, of all people. You know, Lord and Miller's solo Star Wars movie, Star Wars story, whatever, could have been better. I don't know. I guess I'll never learn. I guess I'll never know. Anyway, I'm getting off topic a little bit. Yes, Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs. So it's about an inventor named Flint Lockwood. He's voiced by Bill Hader. He wants to be an inventor, but people treat him like he's a loser. He's made lots of these inventions like spray-on shoes. They don't come off, and then he has a monkey foot translator onto Steve the monkey, voiced by Neil Patrick Harris. Rat birds, a telly that can walk, and this other one that can make someone who's bald have hair, like he did on his dad, Tim Lockwood, who's voiced by James Caan. They're not very successful at all, and one day he wants to make an invention where you put water into this machine called the Slim Flavor. They make a joke about this in the film where the title is so long you have to like if you see a title or something, or letters like, oh, I don't know, HMV. What does that stand for? It stands for like home movie video or something like that. And if you pronounce it like humph or humph, like in phone jack, and then it's a bit weird. But this film does it in kind of a really funny way. But I'll get to that in a bit. So he wants to make an invention where food comes down to earth, like raining food. Doesn't work. At first, no, but then it does, and then everyone likes him. Hamburgers, hot dogs, pancakes, fruit, ice cream, you name it. Not not gummy bears, because that's kind of like this running joke about Steve getting obsessed with gummy bears, which is quite funny. And then occasionally something goes wrong. And Flint, at the same time, is having a kind of a hard time with his dad. You know, he wants him to run a shop about sardines. You know, since the town that they live in is called Swallow Falls, and it's a place where people eat only sardines. So that is the basic plot, and if you do something that's crazy, playful, and just all over the place, it can work. Most of the time it doesn't. But what Lord and Miller did here is surprisingly great. Yeah, it's nothing original. Yeah, you don't need to be original or have a fresh twist. Not a lot of movies need to be original. And I know there are some films that I want to be original and better, but now and then you just need a silly fun film. And Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs is certainly that. The plot's simple and it's straightforward, which is fine. It's plot-wise, it's executed a bit weak, since, well, the main character is not exactly who you think he is, and I'll get to the character relationships and how they don't really work, but positives. The humour in this movie is incredibly fast. There's lots of jokes, there's lots of slapstick humour, there's lots of fast talking, and usually stuff like this would be annoying, but it's surprisingly amusing. There's this running gag, there's like this guy, he's voiced by Will Forte, he's a guy in the beard, and he always has like this one line and all that. He appears in like a few scenes. This humour is like Simpsons level of humour, and like what Gravity Falls has as well. It's actually kind of brilliant. Um, the humour where it involves one character talking, the other character talking really fast, and they are talking about something, and it gets really weird, and they try and talk faster and faster and faster. And the scenes where Flint is in his lab and he's like mentioning stuff as he's doing it, like when he calls Sam, it's like hang it up, regretting, or something like that, or turn on the power, does that, and then has a coffee break, which is exactly what it is. So the humour is very playful, it's all over the place, and it's clever too. It's very funny and clever, and I'll give it to them. And I can see why the Lego Movie's humour is very, very similar. When it tries to be emotional, it does try a little too hard, since like I said, I'll get onto the characters in a bit. But at times you can see that at least the movie tries. It doesn't quite hit home, but at the same time, it did try to have this father and son relationship with Flint and Tim. It doesn't quite hit home, like, I guess, with Earl, voiced by Mr. T, and his son Cal. That works, but not with Flint and Tim, and I'll explain why later. Again, the idea of food, like raining food, is clever, and the way they used it is also clever. Like ice cream is supposed to be snow. Hamburgers are supposed to be like a meteor shower. Meat-y-or shower, get it? Because there's meat in a hamburger. Yeah, there's a lot of awful food puns, but I love them. They're very, very stupid, but this is a very stupid film, but it embraces the stupidity and has fun with it, but at the same time also has heart and tries to have a theme about how we eat food today, and how we shouldn't let eating take control of us, and eating junk is too bad and you should be healthy and all that. There's nothing original here apart from the concept, but it is a very funny, clever, fast, all over the place film that embraces what it could have been, but it embraces it in a really fun, entertaining, just enjoyable way. And I'm trying to think what else to say, but that's all I can say. It's just a really funny and enjoyable experience. Execution-wise, it's not great, and the tone might not be for everyone, but it certainly has fun with it. Animation. Now, this is from Sony Pictures Animation, the guys who made. I'll probably give out a few names. The first film was Open Season, then Surf's Up. They did Hotel Transylvania. They did The Smurfs. They did. What else did they do? They did Goosebumps. They did Peter Rabbit. Then they did the Oscar-winning Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. And yeah, from 2009. When you think animation in 2009, you think of Up, Coraline, Fantastic Mr. Fox, and I'm trying to think. What else came out in 2009? Up, Princess and the Frog. Animation from 2009, especially from them films, they still don't look bad. They haven't aged badly at all. With Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs, the same can apply, kind of. I mean, it's not quite as slightly dated as Shane Akers 9, but it still looks good to this day, and it still looks good from 2009. Okay, I should get this out of the way. The character designs look weird. I know they're supposed to be like cartoony, but it just looks a bit strange. Like the big eyes and the exaggerated face shapes, the way these characters look, and the way the mayor gets bigger and bigger. It could be considered a bit weird and a bit too over the top, but it looks fine. The backgrounds look average at best when it comes to, shallow falls, but when it comes to the food animation, that's when the film gets super creative and does have fun with its concept, and that's what it's all about. And when it comes to the character animations, even if their speed is all over the place, it's still quite amusing. Scenes like when Flint is on the computer and he's like his hands are just pressing on the keys like mad, and it's quite funny and amusing. There's lots of humorous and slapstick moments that are very playful, like I said, but they're also clever, no matter how simple or complex they are, but mostly pretty simple. When it comes to the Slim Zadlifer, that thing looks creative, and when it came to the third act, the film took full advantage of its animation, and it gets better. Sony would eventually get better with its animation, but here, it still looks good. Creative food animation, even if the designs of the designs of the characters look a bit weak, but doesn't bother me. It's still a good looking film. Characters and acting. Okay. Flint Lockwood is the main character, and I'll tell you why I don't think he's great. He's not awful. I don't think he's terrible. But his relationship with Tim, who's his dad, is weird, and it's a bit mean-spirited. Flint only cares about his inventions and not everyone else, like, his dad and his friends. And the way he just acts at his dad, like he just wants to just do his inventions and not help him or anything, it's kind of a dick move. I mean, yeah, he does make up in the end, sure, but his actions are too late. It's too late to apologise, and I mean, yeah, it's not as bad as like Peter Rabbit, where he's just cheeky and he apologises too late, and he does it because motivation. Flint's not quite as bad as Peter Rabbit, coincidentally, same company, but Flint, I don't know. I really do not like these characters that only care about what they do and themselves and then other people. Flint's not quite like that. He still has heart for his dad, but he just cares about laying him food. He's still funny, thanks to Bill Hader. He's a little bit likeable, and watchable at best. Sam Sparks, who's voiced by Anna Faris, is a fine love interest. She seems to be kind of like Flint. They're both full of energy, and they both like, well, I don't know if Flint likes weather, but I know Sam does. She's funny, she's likable, she's quirky. Oh, that also reminds me too. There is a scene. Where was it? That was when the. I'm trying to think. Oh yeah. So Flint and Sam, they go to this Jello castle, and Sam's just explaining to Flint about her black backstory of why she is a nerd. At one point, Flint just kind of chuckles at the point that they made fun of her. So that's kind of another that. So it's kind of another reason why Flint's a little bit unlikable, just a little. Anyways, so Flint fine, a little bit mean spirited. Sam is just okay. Everyone else though is perfect, really. Well, I mean the mayor, Mayor Shelbourne, who's voiced by what's his name? Oh God, what's his name? He's in Cars 2. He voices Rod Talk Redline. Oh, I forgot his name. The mayor, he's the main villain of the film. He just wants to get bigger and eat more. Entertainment-wise, he's a great character. Plan-wise, and what he wants to do is just kind of stupid, really. Baby Brent, voiced by pre-Hotel Transylvania and Storks, Andy Samberg, is just an annoying comic relief. He didn't bother me as much as like Flint or anything, but he was slightly annoying. Who else? There's Officer Earl, who's pretty entertaining for the most part, and his son Cal, who's quite funny. I'm trying to think what else. And there's the guy with the beard, the Will Forte character, who has his entertaining moments. But even if some of these characters are not the best in the world, they are saved by some pretty solid acting. Bill Hader is just amazing as Flint Lockwood. He has so much energy and comedic timing that it's just kind of brilliant. I can see why most animation studios would get him into animated films. Blue Sky, Pixar, and then Sony would bring him back for Angry Birds. So much more. He's a great actor. I really like him a lot. Anna Faris has a lot of funny moments as Sam Sparks. James Caan is pretty good as Tim, Flint's father. And the actor who voices the mayor, Bruce something, I don't remember his second name, he's great as well. Andy Samberg is not quite as good as he was in Storks or Hotel Transylvania, in a way, but I still found him quite funny. Mr. T is a very strange choice for Officer Earl, but not the worst choice, I think. I think he's pretty good. Will Forte is funny as always, and everyone else does good. Even if you've got a few characters who are just kind of you've got a lot of funny and supporting characters who are there to bring comedy and heart and all that. The voice acting is absolutely solid, and yeah. I was just trying to think what else. Oh yeah, on a side note, sorry, the door shut. On a side note, Mark Mothersbaugh's score is delightful. He did the score for Hotel Transylvania series. He did the Lego Movie, apart from Batman. He's an incredible composer. These scores are very delightful and beautiful, and it's probably one of the many saving graces from made people. I can see why people don't like it. I know many people hate this film. I don't quite get it, but at the same time, I can kind of understand. But this is such an underrated animated gem. Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs is not only one of the better Sony Pictures animation films out there, but I think it's a really entertaining, funny, clever, enjoyable family animated film with a creative concept, good animation, great supporting and funny characters. It has decent heart. It's got some solid voice acting and beautiful music. Sure, Flint can be a bit unlikable, and Sam's just okay, and Brent's okay as well. The mayor's plan is a bit stupid too. The animation, while good, it looks a bit too cartoony and weird. The plot's very predictable, and execution-wise, it's not the best you can get out of a, like a story like this. So I enjoyed this film overall. Not perfect, but it's super underrated, and I really like it. I say, 8.4? It's definitely in the 8 zone. It's definitely not a 10 or a 9, but 8 I think is very reasonable. Anyways, thank you guys for watching, and if you have seen the film, let me know what you think below. I'm quite curious, actually. Next up will be Angry Birds. Expect that Friday. And thank you guys for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and most importantly, subscribe. Until next time, I fancy some toast right now. Maybe some cheese. Maybe cheese. A hot dog? Corn? I don't know. This film's making me hungry. Anyways. I don't know why, but hey, it's about food, so it's bound to make you hungry. I do fancy some bananas or apples. Maybe some